My name is Fawzia Shah. I'm a licensed clinical social worker. In today's video, I'm going to talk about trauma bonding. I would like to explain what trauma bonding is, what does it look like in relationships, and some of the signs I can share with you so you can recognize if you are in a trauma bond. So let's get started. What is trauma bond? Trauma bond is between two people. It can be your parents, it could be your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, it could be your employer, it could be anyone in which you are in a relationship that is abusive and you cannot seem to get out of that relationship. And I will explain some of the reasons what keeps people in a trauma bond. Coming back to what is trauma bonding. Trauma bonding is between two people that are in a relationship that is not equal. Narcissistic relationships tend to trauma bond their victims. So what happens is, especially if you're a child and you are now an adult and you grew up with a parent that was very abusive, physically, emotionally, verbally, and neglectful, they will have you in a trauma bond by making you think that things may get better at some point. What keeps someone in a trauma bond is this hope, this magical thinking that one day things are going to work out and my parent or my employer or my friend or my siblings or whoever you are in a trauma bond will recognize your self-worth, will validate you and give you all the love and affection and understanding and validation and value you for what you are at one day. So if I keep putting up with this abuse, but one day they will recognize it. And so it's this magical thinking, it's this hope and this belief that keeps one in a trauma bond. So some of the signs that you can recognize, if you're in a trauma bond, here are some of the signs that you can recognize perhaps. And one would be making a lot of excuses for the person who is actually, that you are trauma bonded with and who is the abuser. So there's going to be a power position. One is the abuser and one is the abused. And it's the abused who is actually in the trauma bond with the abuser. That's important to know. And so narcissistic relationships, that's how that works out with narcissistic person. They will trauma bond you so they can control you. They will gaslight you so they can have their way in feeling like that's how they get their power. For example, they've had a hard life. They work so hard. They work long hours to support the family. And so, it's okay. It's okay if they don't, if he's being physically abusive or he yells and screams at me or he's never happy with me. And you find yourself in the same arguments with this person over and over again. You are in a trauma bond. That's another sign that you are arguing over the same situations and nothing changes, although there are a lot of promises that are made, but nothing changes. The dynamics stay the same. You are being belittled. You're being devalued. You're being made to feel like you don't matter. And that is all your fault. So that causes a lot of self-doubt. So the person in a trauma bond is feeling self-doubt. They start to feel like they're the one who's at fault. And then the reaction that happens to that, where they're made to feel that it's their fault, then they start to hide what their feelings are or what their needs are. They don't want to tell the narcissist or the person that they're in a trauma bond with what they need, what they feel, because they're afraid that there's going to be another argument and then they'll be made to feel bad again. So it's almost like, in a way, you know that you're in a trauma bond, but at the same time, you're trying to protect yourself from not getting berated or being abused. The one that they're trauma bonded with, they're hoping that one day that person is going to give them what they need. But the issue is that will never happen because they're not capable of loving and validating and caring because they lack empathy. So for you to think that this is going to change or there's any hope, it's not that you're not worthy of the love and validation. It's just that they're not capable of doing it. They're not capable of giving you what you need from them. So, I recommend, if you're in a trauma bonded relationship, you really need to break that bond, because the only person who's really getting hurt in this relationship is you. It's very toxic. You keep going back to the same person for the validation, for the love, for the affection, for feeling valued, to the same person who keeps making you feel just the opposite. They keep giving you the messages that you're not worthy enough, you're not good enough, that is always your fault, that you're bad, and shaming you. And so that same person, if they did not give you what you needed, even as a child, it's not going to happen. And so this hope that you have, you probably want to turn that hope and give it to your own self, and then try to make some changes so you can actually break that bond and have the life that you want for yourself, instead of blaming yourself. So breaking the trauma bond is very important. And some people have such a hard time breaking this trauma bond because they are so indoctrinated in that. And there are cultures, by the way, who actually promote children to, no matter what the parents do, you have to obey them. You have to, you have to keep putting up with this abuse that because they're your parents. There are cultures, and then there are, there's a lot of belief systems out there that also, promote this kind of thinking. And I often find this thing in my practice where I have to keep reminding my clients that, no, you don't have to put up with that you can break this trauma bond. And they're so afraid, because if they break this trauma bond, then what is? So it's the fear of the unknown. And so, and not only is the fear of the unknown, it's also, it's like giving up on something that they held so dearly. They have to give this up because it's not going to happen. So be patient with yourself and seek help in order to break the trauma bond. I also recommend trying to create some distance with the person that you're in a trauma bond with by setting some boundaries with them. So I hope that this video was helpful to you. And if it was, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and press the icon, the bell button, so you can be notified of all the videos that I do on time. And also leave a comment down there and let me know if you are in a trauma bond, and if you were able to break the trauma bond. Please comment down there in the comment section and let me know how life has been for you since you broke the trauma bond. Wishing you the best.